Alright, welcome back to More Than Pichusgaming. I'm your host, Mune. And today I want to talk a little bit about things that happened in my last video, as well as a variety of other things. So last video I said, hey, I got some new technology. We're going to move forward in uploading more videos, which that is definitely the plan. I decided that it was best for me to come up with a stream schedule. However, I've also decided that I'm going to do most of my streaming over on Twitch, just as a test, more or less. If anybody is there on Twitch as well as YouTube, you can come over and check out my channel. It is More Than Peachy's Gaming, just without the apostrophe, and it's all one word. So, with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and move forward here. So, the stream schedule is quite nice. I've been mostly thinking about what games to stream, and it's been kind of tough making a decision. In fact, I actually put a bunch of games into a name selector and let it kind of choose that way, just to kind of see what I could get out of it. So I put, like I said, I put a few in there, and I also have some reserve games that I can put in there too. So in case something just doesn't pull or isn't as interesting or fun. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule. Mind you, the days that I'm actually going to be streaming are going to be Thursday through Saturday. And I don't know how long each day I'm going to do them. I'm definitely open for some feedback. So maybe what time of day would work best. I know like Friday evenings is a no-go for me, just a heads up. So let's go ahead and move on. So Thursday, I currently have on the list that I'm going to do Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, which is the PS3 version, which is the one that came in the 1.5. I don't know why I put the 2 picture here. Maybe just kind of jumping the gun there. But it's not that version. It's the one with Kairi, Sora, and Goofy and Donald on the front. So we're going to do Kingdom Hearts 1, not Kingdom Hearts 2. So just a reiteration there. Okay? And I might be doing more Chrono Trigger Randomizer on this day. So look forward to that. So let's go ahead and move on. Fridays, I'm going to be playing Wild Arms for the PlayStation 1. It's going to be through the PS3. So whenever I say via PS3 emulation, it means that it is a downloaded game from the PlayStation Store. So in case you were wondering at all. And then, depending on how everything goes, Lapashell Tactics. Okay. Those unaware of what Lapashell Tactics is, it is kind of a precursor to Disgaea. So anybody who's familiar with Disgaea games, it is a precursor to that. It released here in the States before Disgaea. It is a tactical game like Disgaea. In my opinion, it's a lot shorter for the main story, but also quite challenging. The game is definitely interesting. And then we have Fridays. I don't know why I put... Not Fridays, Saturdays. Oh my god. I wrote down Thursdays. That is the wrong day. So... See, this is what happens when you get in too much of a hurry. I'll just change that to Saturdays. Alright. We got Saturdays. So Saturdays, we have Genshin Impact, which is going to be the PC version. Mind you, that might change to a different version, maybe the PS4, but I think the PS4 version definitely suffers with some lag, so I'm going to probably try to stick with the PC version. Because I don't have a PlayStation 4 Pro, and I do not own a PlayStation 5. Not one of the lucky ones, sorry. And then, if for whatever reason that fails, moving to Secret of Evermore, which is a definite fun game. in case anybody's not familiar with it, uh, this was kind of an action RPG that was designed by Squaresoft uh, back in the Super Nintendo era, where you get a dog and you control this guy. Um, and there's a magic system built in the game, but it's not without cost. It requires materials, and some of them were kind of ironic. Others, I kind of wonder if they were actually intended to be that way. Um, but it is alchemy. But the things that they come up with is, hey, how do I make this thing called I think it's called a mud shot. Anyway, no, it's called hardball. That's what it is. It's the way you make it is you make like clay and water together, and then you like throw it at the enemies. I was like, who comes up with this stuff? So it's like alchemy, but like more, I don't know, practical for the most part. Um, but also, in a way, if you were to handle it in real life, it'd be really dangerous. So yeah, lots of fun there. Great game. I've beaten it a couple of times. It is a wonderful little addition. And as you can kind of see there on the screen art, I believe that's like the first actual significant boss in the game. So yeah, that'll be kind of interesting to play. All right, so going ahead and if time permits. I gave it a lot of thought here. I didn't write which version Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax is. It is the American release, so it's going to be the PS3 version. Okay. Anybody who's not familiar with this game should be aware that it is a fighting game. It is an anime fighting game, and I will say this much: as of this last year, 5 characters in the roster were in the game that were in current airing anime. So that tells you quite a bit how, how relevant it can be, even though the game released, I think, back in 2013. So it's still pretty good. And I'm not talking about like Naruto, One Piece, that kind of stuff. I'm talking about like actual shows that aired back in like 2012, 2013, and ended up having like sequel series that came out in 2020. So that's kind of neat. Final Fantasy V. Again, the only console release version of Final Fantasy V, but it will be the digital version rather than the physical. Final Fantasy IX, it will be the PlayStation 1 version, not the cringeworthy PlayStation 4 version. Okay? And then Secret of Mana for this SNES. I'll tell you right now, I've never beaten Secret of Mana. I've gotten close, but never have succeeded. I thought about doing the PlayStation 4 version, but I would have to first buy it, and I don't know how much of an upscale or how much has actually changed between the two versions. If you know, maybe you should drop me a line and tell me what's changed. If it is literally just a graphical upscale, we'll go with that. Whatever. Final Fantasy 13. Noted as being one of the worst Final Fantasies ever created. I didn't think it was so bad. But there were also some things I didn't like about the game, obviously. But I might give that another go. So, Final Fantasy 13. Alright. And then Super Mario RPG for the SNES. Again, another game I started but never actually beat. I think I made a good portion of the way through, but I want to go back to it and give it another go. And then Shadowverse, just random card playing. If you're familiar with like Magic the Gathering, it's kind of like that, except for that you can only have like 5 characters out, and there's no actual, there's not a whole lot of ramp in the game. So the closest thing that you get to ramp is Dragoncraft. So, it works. So that's what I got on the agenda. I'm not sure how everything's are gonna fall in suit. For all I know, I might have issues with Disney. I might have issues with, you know, Square Enix. I don't know, or Atlas, because if you look through the list, I think it was Atlas. No, that's Sony. Well, there's is Sony. Okay, or Mastiff, or who knows? Maybe even MiHoYo. I don't know. Who's gonna have an issue with me streaming this kind of stuff? But any number of the games could be replaced. I'm not really too sure how that's all going to pan out, because most of my titles are Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax, or sorry, I can't talk. The Most of the games are Square Enix, and Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax is actually a Sega title, I believe. So definitely different games, different companies for those games. So that was my biggest concern. Uh, if if I have an issue with Square Enix, most of my streaming library will be wiped out. As Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax, Shadowverse, Wild Arms, and La Pucelle will be the only ones left. So, that being said, uh, that is the plan. Another thing I will make note of real quick. I'm actually going to get rid of my thing here. So I did do a few things. As you can kind of see, I do kind of have my camera going a little bit. Good old Peachy's playing some games, but as you can kind of see, I have my PS3 ready to go to play the games. Got my Kingdom Hearts ready to go. I'm just gonna not dwell on the little ketone there because it goes kind of crazy. But yeah, La Pucelle. I do have a few other options for games, obviously. But some good classics, nothing too prominent. I am actually looking forward to doing this. I really wish the background version was the Final Fantasy 13 version we got, but unfortunately it was not. So, that being said, hopefully I get something up here soon. I want to actually start streaming Kingdom Hearts 1 if I can. Before noon today, that's when I actually want to start it. I'm shooting for. I'm going to shoot for 10 o'clock this morning because it just seems like a good amount of time. It's over an hour away. Um, and if I put in like a couple of hours playing it, no biggie. I'm going to actually take my time on Destiny Islands, which is the starting world that you start on. And maybe challenge the three kids a bit. But I am also probably gonna make some subtle choices based off of reasoning. I have not decided if I'm gonna go in for the long game or the short game, because that's always the hard part, the hard sell when you decide on how you want to play a game. Do you want to try to get through it quickly, or do you want to try to get through it efficiently? Uh, or are you a completionist? Because I could be all three, but I don't want to be all three. I might just decide to go along the parts of trying to go, what do you call it, semi-efficient, semi-fast. I know that I did kind of a speed run of or not Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts 3 not too long ago, and I think I took maybe 20 hours, if that. I just ran through all the world as quickly as I could and beat all the bosses. I put it on beginner mode just for the hells of it. Which, when I play Kingdom Hearts, who knows what difficulty I'll put it on. I'm debating on just putting it on the easiest mode and going for less than 10 hours. Or, sorry, 15 hours. It's the Unchained Armor and maybe even the Speedster. I believe that's what it's called, which is get through the game without exceeding like 15 hours. I think the last time I did it like 12. So I had plenty of room. I was just speeding through it as quickly as I could, which wasn't too difficult. Um, but I also felt like I was a little underleveled, but it all worked in the end. So, but when I played through Kingdom Hearts, it's not going to be a you die and it's game over. You have to quit playing the game or restart because that would just take up way too much time. I know that I did that with Chrono Trigger, and to this day, I have not been able to get through the entirety of the game on stream or off stream with the randomizer without dying at least once. When I did complete the Chrono Trigger randomizer off screen, I did die once, but it was during the final version of the final boss, and I had saved previously. Um, and to remedy that, I just went out and leveled up like twice, and then went in and beat the boss. It it was kind of humorous how getting a level or two just made all the difference. So, just a heads up, that is what it is. All right, so again, check out my Twitch stream. I put the Twitch channel name in the description of this video, as well as stating where it was. It's at Twitch. I'm not going to put a direct link in there because I don't know how YouTube actually considers a competition streaming service in links. So I'm not going to deal with that right now, maybe later, but yeah, that should be exciting. And if you guys have any recommendations or you just feel like you want to join the chat. That's fine. So hopefully that'll be fun. And I know sometimes I'm a little long-winded when I make these videos. I'm so sorry. But I want to make sure everybody is informed. The game should be fun to play, but you never know what's going to happen when you start something new. Mind you, I'm very new to Twitch. This would be like my actual first video on Twitch. So wish me the best of luck, and until next time, I will catch everyone.